Polyphonia starts out, the curtain rises up, and it's like being shot out of a cannon.
It kind of brings you into this chaos that you're trying to figure out. I know it's off, but how is it off?
It's a really complex mathematical problem to solve through movement.
How do I make this technical footwork work with this very unusual music?
The sonic world of Ligeti is chaotic, but within that chaos there is order.
It is really, really hard to play. The left hand is all black notes, and the right hand is all white notes. The challenge is that the rhythm is so complex.
What the choreography is doing is making the music visual and helping the audience to understand this very complex music.
The music and the dance come together in a way where you can really dream. And then it all comes together in the end like perfect clockwork. Polyphonia was a really breakout piece by Christopher Wheeldon, filled with play and design and innovation.
It was very early in my career. It was only my second ballet for the New York City Ballet, and I was exploring. I was willing and excited to jump in at the deep end.
I remember when Christopher first came to New York City Ballet. It's 1992. He was maybe 19 or 20. He was so bubbly and so cute and so sweet, like a little brother.
Christopher Wheeldon was a soloist dancer for a handful of years, kind of divvying up his time as a dancer and a choreographer, which is extremely hard to do.
Polyphonia was very close to the moment that I actually decided to give up being on stage and focus solely on choreography. To be a great dancer, you have to give yourself over to that entirely. And I felt like my dancing was slipping a little bit because my interest was moving in another direction.
Polyphonia was created in 2001. It was the first ballet that was choreographed on me. I was shocked and excited to be in the room to dance next to all of my idols.
I remember being sort of shocked because Chris is always laughing in the studio, and so then we came into this very serious, dark piece, which was sort of unexpected from him.
I remember coming across these piano pieces, and there was just something about the music that was so immediately magnetic and started to produce quite clear images in my head. But I was really deeply terrified of it. You know, I chose it specifically because it terrified me. I had up until that point sort of lent more towards the kind of deep romantic melodic worlds of Shostakovich and Tchaikovsky and Prokofiev. I just kind of felt like it was time to explore music that wasn't perhaps instantly accessible, both for me and for an audience.
Polyphonia is a ballet to the music of Ligeti, the great Hungarian late 20th century composer.
As soon as I heard this music, I thought, this is going to take me somewhere that I've never been before. Could be terrible, could be magical. And I want to go on this journey with someone who is going to bring a uniqueness and who is going to be able to help me unlock the poetry in this very kind of dense and spiky music.
I was very much going a different direction as a dancer. So I never thought I would be in his work. And then I got called to a rehearsal with him as the choreographer. I wondered, either he's gonna go to a different place or he's gonna take me to a different place. He definitely came towards my place.
I cast Wendy, somebody who was clearly doing structured choreography, but was able to exist in this kind of poetic improv realm. György Ligeti was, I think, the most extraordinary partner of ballerinas that I've ever worked with. And what that did for me was it enabled me to explore partnering in a way that was perhaps more inventive.
György Ligeti and I danced to music like that kind of often. So we kind of welcomed him and made him feel safe and helped him birth these new ideas.
Wendy and György and I got into a room together and started to unlock the mysteries of Ligeti. It made me a far braver dance maker working with this music. And along the way, having my hand held by these two incredible artists.
The central pas de deux in Polyphonia. The music, they used it in Eyes Wide Shut. It was very haunting, eerie, wonderful pas de deux that Chris created.
It's clearly a depiction of some sort of ritual where you have some sort of leader and then a bunch of followers. So you've got the single voice. And then shortly after that melody plays out, the chorus answers the same. And then in the center of the piece, he adds the third note.
The music spoke to me immediately. I was really coming into my own voice and distinctive personality as a principal dancer. And it was something I wanted to sink my teeth into, that music.
There's an ominous romance, in a way, to the music. And one thing that I enjoyed playing with as a choreographer was choreographing kind of inside the resonance rather than always on the notes. Finding ways to break and create rhythm where rhythm only exists just as sound was something that was fascinating.
I felt like I was a shiny silver dagger on velvet. And I felt like György was presenting this gorgeous weapon, and I could slice the space, but it was a soft slice.
Stillness actually plays a big role in all of my ballets. Finding moments where story or shape can exist still in the mind, but you're actually not physically seeing it, creates so much drama, creates so much tension. And the Ligeti music allows for that. There was something so strong in the way that she turned her head and looked forward. And having actually been really quite manipulated throughout that pas de deux by György, sort of folded and shaped and lifted and sculpted in a way. And the way that she actually turns and looks at the audience in that moment, this is as much, if not more me than him. And that was, to me, just something so extraordinary.
I'd never had the opportunity to play with silence in that way, to hold the space and the stage with that much power.
I think the ballet looks just as fresh today as it did when it was created in 2001.
With challenging atonal music, with a bit of a quirk and with angles and origami shapes. It's in a heritage, but it's its own thing.
I'll never forget reading a review that said, the best Balanchine ballet that Balanchine never made, which was obviously a huge, huge honor. This is very much a ballet that belongs in New York with the New York City Ballet and has also been danced by different generations of dancers since György and Wendy. And this current generation is very, very exciting to me. Balanchine famously said, you put man, you put woman together on stage, there's going to be a story. It becomes about what is their story.